Yo, welcome back to my channel, ladies. Now pay attention because this one is for you. We gotta talk. Men are attracted to women in general, period. Okay, by default, this is something that we can't help because God gave that to us physically. We have a physical drive that we can't help just because that's just how He created us. So just because a man marries you doesn't mean that he stops being attracted to other women, because we're gonna be attracted to women, period, whether we're married or we're not married. Now you might have probably heard that you are the only woman for me. I only have eyes for you. You're the only woman I love. Nope. I'm pretty sure that we have sisters, we have mothers, exes that we probably still love in some proportionate way. Ouch. Don't hate on the messenger. I'm just delivering. We're attracted to other women, women of all kinds, women who are in the office, women who are in the street, women who are at the grocery store, heck, women in church, women who are our neighbors. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women on our phones, on Instagram, everywhere. This is where the brutal truth really comes in. Okay, the quality of a true man really lies in the fact that he's willing to get married to you while he's still attracted to a lot of other women. Okay, that doesn't take away from the fact that he still loves you and he's still committed to you. But the fact that we're still attracted to other women that we see around us, but we're still prepared to commit ourselves into a relationship, that's where the quality and value of a real man really is. The Bible teaches us to love our wives. You gotta remember, man is supposed to love his wife. And the standard is so high that it's equated to Christ loving the church so much so that he had to lay his life for the church. For me as a man, it means laying down my lust and my need to be with other women. I have to kill that and subject that to my discipline, in the same manner that Christ laid down his life for the church. So in other words, staying faithful. But make no mistake of this, that's not to mean that I'm saying that men will never lust at another woman. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna ever have the temptation to lust at another woman or not like another woman, because we'll still like other women as well. And yes, while the temptation is there, so will be the submissiveness. Sex is not the only thing that drives a man. There are a lot of other qualities that drive a man. In order for a man to stay committed, guess what? Love is not the top thing for a man. Love is not even the top thing that makes a man want to stay in a relationship. But respect is. Men value respect above everything. Okay, while for women it might be different. Women want to be loved and everything, but men respect. I just feel like this is something that we gotta get in context so we all understand each other about a couple of things, because I see a lot of women making a lot of mistakes, especially in church. What made me want to talk about this? This is Derrick Jaxn guy. I had no idea who the heck the guy is. Apparently he's been giving people advice, women advice out there. He's been talking about staying committed. I think he has a bit of a history. He was a cheater, he was a player a little bit or something. And then he changed. Then he got married. But then he started talking badly about people who cheat. He made videos like black men don't cheat, or he doesn't feel any sympathy for people who cheat. Wait, hold on a second. You used to be a cheater, but then you feel no sympathy for people who cheat? Okay, there's something very wrong about that. I don't know who this guy is. I got a feeling that I'm pretty sure that I'm not supposed to know who the heck this guy is, because he recently got caught up in his lies and cheating, and he's married to a wife, and he uses the name of God to promote his relationship advice. Now, this is a dude who typically comes to church. Now, I've seen a couple of reviews and videos that are trending on social media or by other YouTubers, and when I listen to a lot of the things that he says, he's supposed to be like a godly man or something, because he's married to a wife who's very much a church wife, like a really Christian woman. I've listened to her talk. Well, she released a video where she was going on an epic Christian woman rant. I think her name is Jaxn or something. I don't know what that was about, but is it just me, or her name kind of rhymes with denial? Coincidence, but just saying. Couple of problems right now. I'm sorry, but which part of him is godly? Which part of him says Christian? Out of curiosity, I've listened to him speak. The man curses like he's on some kind of Def Jam record or something. Like he's making some kind of rap album. Very, very secular album. He doesn't talk like a Christian. So did that fly over people's head or something? Like this is the one thing that I just can't seem to understand about people. Why do we put some dudes out there just because they look in a certain way, or they're smooth talkers, or they've got some charisma or whatever? We tend to think that they are very good at what they say. You got a lot of men like that in church. You got a lot of guys like that girls don't watch out for. Is it that you don't know how to watch out for these people, or you just somehow fail to see all the signs that are there? That's the thing that I really want to understand. Because the signs are out there and I see them, and probably a lot of people see them. How come we just don't see them? So I gotta understand. So if maybe women, ladies, if we need help with this in this area, you gotta tell us. You gotta swallow your pride. Ladies, you gotta swallow your pride. Maybe you're just not very good at assessing men. Like seriously, we gotta talk about these things. So there are some tall tale signs here and there that you need to watch out for. For a guy, how do you avoid a guy that happens to not be good for you, but you maybe don't have a way of telling whether he's good for you? Let's ever talk about that a little bit right now. How do you tell that, especially when he's in church, for the ladies that are Christians and they're looking for a godly man? How do you do that? How do you find that kind of guy? How do you tell when he's probably just not good for you? How do you tell when he's a player, actually? Well, there is one thing for sure that I'll tell you. He knows how to say all the right things. Okay? He's a smooth talker. He knows just how to make all the right moves. I don't know, maybe he's been watching a lot of YouTube videos, or maybe he just has a lot of experiences. I don't know. But you can get this stuff online nowadays. But if he's just too smooth for his own good, he can almost get himself out of any situation. If he does something wrong and you're upset, he just out smooth talks you. You know? He has a way of deflecting every single thing in every kind of situation. He's just way too smooth. That's a tall tale sign for gamer people. Like seriously, a natural person does not just come up with the right punchlines all the time in every single situation. Like life is a movie, okay? It doesn't work like that. That's not real life. That's telling you right there. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. It's just too good to be true. He is too good to be true. With that said, it's really interesting because I've had girls in church get together with a guy who has a history of playing on girls in church. But even when we tell this girl that he's not good for you, she still kind of be like, yeah, but you know, he told me about his history. You know, maybe he has changed, or whatever the case may be. When everybody around you is telling you that they just don't have a good feeling about him, or he's just not good for you, that's a pretty big sign that there's probably a good reason why they are saying that. But in your mind, you're thinking, maybe he is different. Maybe they're all wrong. Maybe they're all of them. All of them are wrong. All these people who have nothing to gain out of this are wrong about him. And your ideas and your feelings about him are right. What you want to believe and see in him is right. Because we're all wrong, right? He's just too smooth for reality. So us reality talkers just don't get it, right? What are the total signs? So Mr. Derrick happens to have had a history of cheating. Okay, how do you tell when a guy is probably got red flags? When he hasn't reconciled himself with his history. Whenever you try to talk about his history, he avoids the details. He doesn't really want to really talk about it. Hey, when you're a Christian, you want to talk about the kind of person that you were, how you've changed, how Christ have transformed you, or how you have given your life to God. You are no longer that person. When you're no longer that person, you don't mind talking about any of that stuff because that's not who you are anymore. As a matter of fact, you're happy to share that testimony with people. Mr. Derrick here just seems to be the kind of guy who projects what he was because he hadn't really changed. It seems like he has been living this life all the time. So he's been projecting what he is on other people who are cheating by calling them out. But by calling them out, he's actually saying, I don't feel sorry for you if you cheat. And he starts calling them all kinds of names, and he's been mocking them and ridiculing them. But actually, he's been talking about himself. He's been lying to people, giving them advice, talking like he's the expert, when in fact he's not. And that's the thing that I just don't get about people. You know, we don't mind if you come out here and you say, hey, you know what? This is what I struggle with as a Christian. And this is my testimony. This is how I'm trying to deal with it. And we follow you on that journey. We got no problem with that. But if you come out here and you play it cool, like, look, hey man, I'm a man. I don't struggle with this sin. I'm kind of like a brother who's got it together and all that nonsense. And then later on, we find out that, hey man, yo, you didn't have it together. Who are you to be telling people this and that? You're talking like you got it together, but now you don't got it together. That's why we've got a problem with these things. That's why people have a problem with that. People don't have a problem with the fact that you can be found in sin or you can be caught up in sin. People just have a problem with the fact that you are out here portraying yourself to be a man of God, portraying yourself to be somebody who's got it together, but you don't really have it together. Just because he has told you about his past doesn't mean it's a done deal. Just because he tells you a little bit about, yeah, I used to be this guy and that, doesn't mean that's it. That doesn't seal the deal. Stop always giving a man a pass. You got a lot to lose, ladies. You have a lot more to lose. You gotta be like a detective when you're dating a guy. I don't mean like a real detective, like detective, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't get all detective. But I'm just saying you gotta think about it like it's a mission for you, because you stand a lot more to lose when there's a lot of men out there that are getting game from YouTube tutorials and videos on how to make moves on you and make you feel a certain way so that you can dismiss the godly guy who seems really just boring and just nice and everything. Instead, you're gonna be feeling all tingly and all lovey-dovey because Mr. Smooth Talker is making all the right moves on you. Just because he makes you feel a certain way doesn't mean that he's right for you. I mean, really, I feel like that needs to be so said a lot of times.
Just because he makes you feel a certain way doesn't mean that he's right for you.
It needs to be said all the time. Not every feeling is good for you. Unfortunately, the reality is, dating coaches, almost every dating coach out there is saying to a guy, make a woman feel in a certain way and she's yours. And the reality seems to agree with that. That's what I can't seem to reconcile myself with here. Am I missing something? Do you want to be cheated on? Are you attracting this man unconsciously or purposely unconsciously? You sort of acknowledge it, but you're kind of hoping that it's not the case. Which is it here? That's a reality that kind of confuses me sometimes. But you know what? I'm just saying, ladies, you're the ones on the mission here. Okay? I'm just giving you a friendly piece of advice. I used to always tell people that, look, how you get into a relationship defines or sets the tone for how you get out of it. There's no way you're going to be careful about how you go about your relationship and then you are not careful about how you sort of get out of it. Get out of it meaning it's conditional. There's probably going to be a lot of processes involved, counseling and so on, in order to kind of try and save the relationship or to work out the problem, if that's how you approached it to begin with. So if you're careless about how you get into a relationship, that's probably how you're probably going to just kind of get out of it as well. It's going to be likewise and vice versa, you know what I mean? So you got to pace yourself with people. A lot of you are getting yourself hurt out there, and I'm just like kind of being heart to heart about this type of thing, because you're never gonna run out of cheaters and players. You're never gonna run out of guys just looking to get what they get out of you, because that's also the culture that raises them today. So yes, there's good guys out there. There's guys that are God-fearing, that got it together and so on, but they don't have a lot of game. And I think a lot of you need to get real about the fact that the right guys aren't always going to sound right or look right or whatever. They may not always say the right thing and so on. So you got to make a lot of decisions about what you really want and how you see that, the reality of what you see in front of you and, well, what's in your head, I guess. So that's kind of like what I usually want to talk about, candidly in a way. But I love y'all, but I hate to see y'all going through all the headache and the smokes and mirrors. So please, let's keep it real. don't hurt yourself. Just keep it real about what's the reality in front of you. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Do like, do subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. You'll know when I'm dropping another video. And leave a comment and do tell me about this Derrick Jaxn guy and what you think about this whole saga, or what do you guys think about what I'm telling you. Okay, am I keeping it real with you? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I don't know. Just leave an engagement. It's good for the algorithm. Okay, it's good for YouTube. It's good for my channel. Leave a comment. Leave emojis. Leave a lot of hearts. You know what I'm saying? Leave a lot of smoochies. Not for me, just for engagement. But I'm just saying. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay. And do pray a lot. Pray for the right man or woman. Cheers and God bless.